You're listening to the AFTERBUZZ TV Network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Dean Johnson.
The AFTERBUZZ Studios in Los Angeles, California. Presented by Maria Menounos and Bing.com and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies. This is AFTERBUZZ TV's Twisted After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AFTERBUZZ TV's Twisted After Show.
Woo! Oh, Lord.
Hey, Twisters. Bing is for doing, and we're here doing another after show for ABC Family's Twisted, Season 1, Episode 8, Docu-Trauma. I'm Jason Ikeler, and joining me as always,
I'm Heather Joy Smith.
I'm Lina Green.
And I'm Stephen Lemieux. Here
Welcome.
again for another week of a
Steven,
good episode.
Yeah.
rocking the tank top, if you're watching.
Jason ditching me because he
I know,
had to.
I put my clothes
he's
on.
too cold.
Because this is a family show. So, guys,
And you're too sexy.
I know.
But you're too
We've got to
popular.
talk about, speaking of sexy, we've got to talk about Lacey and Danny. So they are like full force into it. We open with them kind of getting in on the bone zone. And
Really, Jason?
that's what they were about to do.
It even said on
If
the
you
screen.
didn't have to leave.
Hashtag Daisy Bone Zone.
Yeah, hashtag, somebody make an Instagram of that. So they're like, they've gone from like hooking up to now I feel like they're like into it. You know, like, don't you feel like it's like too much too soon?
Well, yeah, that's what I was thinking at first. Like, they really jumped into this relationship, I guess, if you want to call it that.
Yeah.
But they said they're dating. They've been liking each other for a while, so.
But
It's
it
like
just,
2 days ago they
I-
had their first kiss.
exactly.
It's a little soon.
Well, how long has it been? Because they had the kiss at the formal
Fall fest or whatever.
Yeah.
or whatever, and then they had their whole bout with her breaking up with Archie and that. And now it's been 3 days since then. So I think this is kind of like a week maybe.
But still,
Since the
A
first
week?
It's still
they're like a
That is-
married
yeah.
couple. The way they're
They've
acting.
been like dating.
Steven's a fast
Steven.
mover, guys.
Apparently.
Is this
That's-
why
I
you're
mean,
single,
this is-
Stephen? Maybe you take things a little
Don't
too
put 'em
fast.
out there like
Thanks for the
that.
shout out, Jason. I was the one during this show saying, wow, Danny needs to slow crap down. He's like telling her, hey, like, come on, this is a secret? Are you ashamed of me? You got to change this. Like, dude, 3 days ago, she said what you're in for. She said, we got to keep this under wraps.
Well, and that's why I think
No.
she's gone into it the whole time. It's not like she's like, yeah, I want you to be my boyfriend. I want everybody to know. Before they even started dating, she wanted to make sure he knew that, listen, I can't tell people, my friends will hate me.
But
yeah.
I get where he's coming from, because it's like nobody wants to be a dirty little secret.
No,
Like,
but
why
I get
don't you-
that too. But if somebody's telling you that you're keeping it under wraps, like, give it some time. Like Steven was
Yeah.
saying, like, maybe like a couple weeks or a couple months. But she also just broke up with her ex-boyfriend, so that
Yeah,
makes
but
her look
it's-
Yeah,
shady.
a week is too soon. Maybe like,
Okay.
maybe 8 days.
Valid.
So it's okay. It's
But I
okay
think
that
in-
she. Oh.
In Danny's mind, don't you think, okay, she's saying that he's going to be the little secret, but in his mind, he's probably thinking, this isn't going to last long. Like, give it a few
No.
days and she'll change your
Yeah.
mind.
But of
That's what I'm-
all people, Danny should know about keeping secrets. But
Exactly.
sometimes you have to.
But she's not keeping it a secret when she's coming over and they're doing all that funny business.
Yeah.
Oh, it ain't a secret then.
Yeah, but I think she
It
just
is. You
means
can sneak around.
in public, like
We don't want to hear what you do.
at at school. Like, she doesn't want everyone at school figuring out about it because she'll lose her friends. Of course, that'll make her a social outcast because, oh, look at the girl who's dating a
Yep.
murderer, that kind of thing. And I mean, the way I look at it is, if somebody has a job where they work too much and they say, hey, I got to work and we won't have time to see each other much, so we'll work through it. And then a month into dating them, and she said 3 months, month into dating them, like, you have to quit your job because I have to see you more. But
Well,
it's
and
kind
I
of the
think we
same
have to
instance.
remember,
It's
too,
like
that
you knew what you're getting into going into it. Don't try to rush it when you already knew what you were getting into.
Exactly. And she's still in high school, so popularity is still important. And it's a big, you know what I mean? It's a big part of who she is.
But I don't get it. Like, if she's so concerned about that, like, why can't she stay away from Danny? This was so traumatic. The whole experience, to me, it's like confusing. They're making it so traumatic that they saw him kill someone 5 years ago. And now it's like, well, but I love him. Everybody loves him now. We're so traumatized, but we love him so
Yeah,
much.
it does feel a little bit
yeah.
inconsistent. But I
Yeah.
think maybe also the way her and Joe were in last week's episode, where they kind of bonded and realize, hey, there obviously is more to the story. We need Danny to tell us. I think maybe that made her realize, like, I think there is more to the story, and I don't think Danny's this horrible killer person. Also, he's hot, so it all works out.
What? They did say something about him telling them to come in to see it. Did we ever hear about that? Him telling them as kids to come in the house and see what happened or what?
I don't remember.
I don't remember that either. I think that was new.
That's
Yeah.
Oh no,
new
that was all new information when she said that Joe wanted to run away and Lacey said no, we have to go see what he's talking about.
Yeah.
So it was Lacey's decision to go in, and I didn't know to begin with that they had actually gone in the house.
Yeah, I didn't either.
I didn't know that they saw the body. I didn't know anything that.
I
So
have a feeling that we're gonna see over time, like through flashbacks, with them telling everything that happened in the house, and I'm probably, I don't even know if we'll get all of it, but at least a big bulk of it before the season ends.
I'm wondering if they're gonna come to a realization that somebody else was in the house, like by moving their memories to each other, like talking about them. They're like, wait a second, I was doing this. Then what was that sound upstairs or something like that? That would make
I
them
think
realize.
that's gonna happen right at the end of the finale.
It seemed like that's what they were alluding to.
Yeah.
On the little.
But again, with this whole prank thing, I mean, we're not really going in order per se today, but with this whole prank Tyler does, he's talking to Joe like it shouldn't matter that much, but really, Danny's dealt with it. He's had his 5 years in juvie, but this is the thing that traumatized Lacey and traumatized Joe, was walking in and seeing the body with the jump rope around the neck. So who is this really going to affect? Danny, who's not really remorseful for what he did because he had his reason, or the girls who walked in and see a dead body when they're 12?
Well, I don't think anybody realizes that, and I don't even think maybe
Tyler didn't
Danny
know.
even realized that
I
at
don't think
first.
Tyler-
But so we see Danny and Lacey, and they're on this date. Where are they? They're in like a field somewhere
Like in
or
a
something.
park.
In a park, and they're drinking fake champagne. And that's when the army. First, we see somebody, and you're like, "Oh shit, Archie's watching." And
Why do
then
we
you're like,
always think it's Archie? Like
I feel like
we
that's
always
valid,
say
'cause
it's Archie.
if he just broke up with his girlfriend
Yeah.
and he's already suspicious of that guy, I feel like
but he's out of town,
Yeah.
which we find
It's
out.
because
I was like, we
Joaquin
didn't see
Phoenix
him at
always
all.
plays creepers.
so. Moving
Oh,
on.
and I gotta say, thank you, commenters on YouTube, for agreeing
They
with me
did, I
that he
saw.
looks just like Joaquin
People on
Phoenix.
YouTube, it's all going to
Oh my
Steven's head.
God.
Please keep your
My head is
comments silent.
gigantic. Thank you.
So anyways, first we see one guy in a Danny mask holding a jump rope, and then there's like a whole slew of them, and I was freaked out.
The wigs
that
were
is
really
scary.
bad.
They're so creepy.
It was the wigs. They were really bad.
Yeah. I think
Not his hair.
The mask
well,
was really
clearly.
The
bad.
masks were creepy.
They were so bad.
But I
Oh,
think they were like bad enough that made it even more creepy.
Yeah.
Well, it's
Exactly.
like I thought they were creepy to begin with because they don't look like just pieces of plastic over their face.
They look
It looks like well-made rubber
Yes.
synthetic masks that it honestly almost looks like somebody, like they used green screen and tried to like photo impose a green screen Danny face on the mask, so it just looks stretched and warped.
They're actually masks. I saw them on Instagram. They're actual real masks.
They're creepy.
Huh.
Yeah.
So creepy.
We should have got some and wore
We
them
should
today.
all wear that.
That would be
That'd be so funny.
You won't even get a red jump rope.
So Lacey tells Danny basically that she's not going to this party she throws because, again, she has to keep their relationship secret. And I'm kind of on Team Lacey with all of this because I feel like that would be a super obvious thing if she's trying to hide it. Like, why are you at this party?
Do you think it was smart for him to throw this party? I mean, I get what he was trying to do, but all his attempts to reach out to people have failed. This party didn't seem like a good idea in the beginning.
I think he's so desperate to fit in, especially now. I think before it wasn't as big of an issue, but now that he has Lacey and he wants this to be a public thing, I think he's so desperate, so he'll do whatever it takes.
And did he do it for Rico and Joe too? Because I saw his mechanics were going. He kind of wanted to play matchmaker for a minute.
I'm not sure.
You
We're
think?
going to talk about Rico's and Joe's whole thing in a second too, but I don't know if it's... I don't know.
I don't
It could be.
know.
But
Potentially.
you have a good point though. He is trying to fit in more because of Lacey. Because, hey, this guy's a murderer, but he throws killer
Yeah.
Killer.
parties. So I mean, that would be a way to assuage the.
But I think
kind of-
that's so true when you're in high school too. Like, oh, this guy's a dick. But we got so wasted last night. So let's, you know what I mean? Let's go to another party at Danny's.
Yeah.
High school is so different when the writing because my high school had like people who had done terrible things like that, and nobody really cared.
Your real high school?
Yeah, like we had.
Like you had somebody who
Oh,
murdered somebody?
Like we had like felons, we had people who were out who like left juvie who were in
How'd you
juvie.
go?
Where did you go? I know.
It was a good high
Alcatraz.
school, but they were we had people who transferred into it because of their grades, because of studying through the juvenile detention facility, and they get in good high schools because they don't want to waste their lives. But I mean, these people, they've done weird things. They've been on the bad end of the law earlier, but nobody really. I mean, it wasn't like a segregation. People weren't like, "Oh, that's the kid who did that." Nobody was like, "Hey, did you know?"
I can't take you seriously in your tank top.
Well, maybe the
staring
listeners
at you.
can't see my tank top.
Thank God for that. No. Speaking of tank tops and serial killers and all of that kind of violent things, we want to remind everybody to go to serialbuddies.com. And on the website there, Stephen is giving me the look.
Stephen looks
of
so
death.
angry.
Sorry, I just can't take you seriously with that hair.
Oh.
Anyways, just go to serialbuddies.com, and there are
Hey
links
there,
to.
good buddies. The handle.
Ooh, what was that?
Better.
Oh, I like that.
It's a wrong button, don't worry.
There are links to download Serial Buddies on Amazon and iTunes. It's like $4 or $5, and all of the money from Serial Buddies goes back into AfterBuzz, so we can keep giving you these podcasts for free. And it's got a ton of great people. Beth Bears from Two Broke Girls, Kathy Lee Gifford, Artie Lang, Maria Menounos. Everybody's in it. And if you like Twisted, you'll actually probably really enjoy this because it's kind of like lots of twists and turns, but it's really funny. So check it out, please.
Before we move on, can we please give a shout out to @HuntersHeart on Twitter?
Yes, she's Janice Loves
Yes.
Hunter on Instagram.
On Instagram.
Yes.
And she's been great with giving us some
Yeah.
shout outs as well on Twitter. So thank you.
And we appreciate the love. And if you guys download Twisted on iTunes, you go search for AfterBuzz TV and subscribe to our podcast, and you can rate and comment. We'll give you a shout out too. And we love all the YouTube commenters and all the Twitter and Instagram. We're having a lot of fun with
We
it.
love it.
I'll go ahead and throw out the Twitter ones right now.
God.
We got more.
Well, yeah, we got a bunch.
We
of them.
do have a bunch.
People been blowing up
I
our
know.
phones all week.
They have been blowing up our phones all week. It's been awesome.
People are very angry that we're not doing the show yesterday.
Yeah.
I know. But you guys, everybody
They're like,
has
"Is it
really
tonight?"
good. We're reading the YouTube comments. You guys have really good theories.
Yeah.
When I'm like, oh, I never thought about that.
What was that theory y'all were talking about? Oh, Joe being...
Yeah, I want to talk
We'll
about
get into
that
that later, yeah. But shout out
God,
to
Lina.
shout out to Rochelle Patterson. Shout out to Jaiju K Fandom, who is from London, I believe he said. Shout out to Twisted Daisy fans, of course. And
We love
then
you.
PDR is Twisted. Yeah, thank you for not sending me more spoilers. I appreciate that. And then shout out to Ed Sheeran, who's at Blackburn Amy. I don't think that's really Ed Sheeran.
Victoria
God.
Justice.
Shout out to Miley Cyrus. Thanks for watching. Anyways, let's talk about Joe's whole little love issue. So it starts off with her and Rico. And again, poor Rico. he's like the worst, in the worst position because he's in love with her and she's telling him about her guy issues. And that's like the last thing he wants to hear.
He put himself in the friend zone. You got to learn how to keep yourself out of friend zone.
Dude, the friend
And so-
zone is the place where the girls tell you their guy issues.
Oh, Stephen
It's
knows all
terrible.
about it.
I know all about it.
Aw.
It was a symptom of wearing tank tops in high school.
Oh my God.
Oh. Wow.
So-
then.
I'm not even going to acknowledge
Don't touch that. I'm not touching it.
So Rico tries to tell Joe, like in the beginning, that he has a thing for her, and he just fails at it, and somehow inspires Joe, like, oh, you should tell Danny. This comes out of it, that she should tell Danny how she feels about him. So she texts Danny, and she's like, hey, we need to talk. And so she goes to talk to him, and you finally think she's going to muster up the courage, which is just horrible watching anyways, because we know that he
He's
is already
not
hooking
into
up
her,
with
yeah.
Lacey.
And we know that feeling too.
No.
Where you're like really nervous and you want to say something, but you want to say something. You guys don't know that?
No, some of us
Okay,
always. Some
Oh
of
wait,
us always
sorry.
get what
Some of
we
you guys
want.
just wait for the other person to do it.
So anyway,
You're so alone.
I know.
You guys.
You need some therapy.
No, we cannot do that in the hour we have here.
What are we talking about?
Let's leave our personal lives at home. So anyways, Tyler comes up while Joe and Danny are talking, and he kind of calls him out on something. He's like, oh, are you two together? And Danny's like, no.
No. Danny's so cute.
Absolutely not.
Rico's so cute with his reactions. Like, oh no, you're talking about Danny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pay attention.
Where am I?
So anyways,
We're talking about the D word.
Danny.
Divorce.
Not divorce. So Danny just kind of throws her under the bus like, no, we're just friends. And poor Joe looks shot. And then Tyler's kind of oblivious because if he didn't see that on her face, he still asks her out on a date. But like clearly, she has a thing for him, even if you just know it from that
You
situation.
could read it all over her face that as soon as Danny said, no, she's like my sister, her face was like, what?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
And Danny's so oblivious. He's
I
like,
didn't even get it either.
okay.
The two of them, the two guys, are completely oblivious.
That's
that
a
any-
guy
I know, because when she walked
Totally, I
away
guess.
too, his
Such
face
a
was
guy thing.
still. Danny's face
He's
was
like,
even
what's
still
she
like,
mad about?
why
Yeah.
she's so mad?
What's wrong with her? Like, come on,
Like, she
Danny.
just got asked out. What's wrong with her? Like, hello? She wanted you to ask
Gotta
her
find
out.
out.
Not
And
him.
Tyler's a hottie.
He is so
He's so hot. What do you think about him, Steven?
I disagree with you guys.
Lena and I would like to start a hashtag Tyler is hot.
And do not kill him.
Don't kill him off.
Please do not kill
Just
Tyler.
Make that the whole
us.
hashtag. Hashtag Tyler is hot. Do not kill him.
Do not kill him.
So funny.
He's not that attractive as a guy.
Okay, Steven. Hater.
Hater
Hater,
over
hater,
there.
hater.
No, this
Three
is
of us
Twisted.
over here think he is.
Yeah.
So
All
3
right.
to 1. So Joe tells her mom about the whole thing, and she tells her mom like, "Oh, he thinks of me as a sister." And I think her mom handles the situation very well. We talked about that a little bit last week, and what you would do if you were in that position.
Her mom should tell her at this point.
See, I don't think she should
I
because
thought
I
she-
think
yeah.
then Joe would be like, "Why didn't you tell me? I just made a fool of myself."
It's not her place to say it anyway.
yeah, I thought how Tess handled it was perfect.
I agree.
She said, "Yeah, I think it was perfect."
If I was close to my daughter, I would tell her she is kind of making a fool of
But
know if they're
wouldn't
that
you?
close.
Hey, but wouldn't you be pissed?
No, you acting a fool.
Wouldn't you be pissed if you already told him and then your mom was like, "Oh yeah,
Well,
I
she
knew he
didn't
didn't
know.
like you."
I would have been so mad.
Got pun, girl.
Yeah.
Oh, did
I knew
I,
all along he was after Lacey and not you.
did I not mention that, sweetie?
Like,
Whoopsie.
Wait, Rico told you to go tell him? What bad advice.
you never had a chance.
Why don't you date that nice Rico fella? I hear he likes
honestly.
you.
Oh.
Yeah,
Oh, wait,
so
you
then
didn't know that?
Rico tries to tell her, he's like, "Listen, Joe, there's another guy out there for you." Like, ding, ding, ding.
Do your Rico voice. Listen, Joe, there's
Listen,
another
Joe, there's another guy out there for you.
And then Danny's walking up from
I know. Then
behind.
Danny walks in and
Oh,
breaks it up.
sexy and stuff.
Poor, I feel so bad for Rico.
Read the atmosphere, Danny.
I know. He is ruining everything.
I don't know. I think it's cute. I like Rico and Danny's dynamic.
No, I like when they're together, but I
When
don't
they're
like when
together.
Danny breaks him up when he's trying to get
He
it in
wasn't
with
macking.
Joe.
He's not doing anything. He's just like, I
doesn't-
think
he's
Didn't-
nervous.
Yeah.
Well,
and I
Mac.
think as soon as Danny came over, Rico completely turned his back away from the two of them and like started like reading his book or whatever.
you gotta
And-
man up.
Well, he got-
Rico's
True,
man up.
But Danny should have been like, "Well, hey Rico." Like,
Yeah, but
at
it's not
least
like Joe's
acknowledge
made it
why
easy
he's
for him to
there.
man up.
Well, it's also like, okay, so you have like your mental plan when you're talking to someone.
Yep.
You're like, okay, I'm going to talk about this, work into this, and then you're going to say it. But then someone interrupts that, you don't get the chance to say it, and then he tells the girl to go talk to another guy.
Well, and it's so sad because Joe is doing the same thing as Rico is
Right?
in this episode, and you watch them both try and fail miserably. It's so
They
hard.
might as well just get together.
But at the same time, Danny
thank
was
you.
ignorant. Danny was ignorant to the fact that Rico liked Joe until a little bit in this episode.
I think he
Yeah.
kind
So
of
now he's
I
helping
didn't
him.
know.
Yeah.
And until Rico comes out the closet, I want him to be with Joe.
What? He's gotta get with Tyler.
I know. Oh.
No.
Yes.
No.
Wait, what would the name for that shipping be? What would we ship
Oh, let's ship.
Danny and Rico?
No.
Oh, Danny and Rico?
Yeah.
I was thinking Rico and Tyler.
Oh, Rico.
What are y'all talking about?
Rikyler.
Let's ship Tyler and Heather.
Okay.
Rico and Danny would be.
I'll take
Who's
Rico.
Heather? Is that Heather on the
I've
show?
never heard of her. So, as Rico is telling Joe all this, she's inspired once again by the wrong thing, and she's like, "You're right. I'm gonna go tell Tyler I'm going on the date with him."
So Rico's
She-
like,
He's like, "Damn it! I'm making every move for her."
I thought she was doing that at first to make Danny jealous, but now I see that she's kind of liking Tyler now. At this point,
Yeah.
she kind of likes.
I mean,
him.
I think she realizes too, like now that she doesn't have a shot with Danny, which I don't think she's just gonna get over it this fast. But I think now she's like, okay, now I gotta play the field, and I got a date tonight.
16, okay?
You gotta play the field when you're 16.
I think it's also the popularity thing too, because we see Lacey went into high school and kind of blossomed as the popular girl, and then Joe is the one who kind of brought into herself. And then Joe's slowly been coming out of her shell more and more. And now this popular guy knows everyone in school. He's the guy who can throw parties. He's the guy who knows everyone. Starts kind of going after her.
Yeah.
Of course, she's going to be like, I mean, hey, Rico. Oh. go to that guy.
Yeah.
I don't think she wants to be popular.
But I
though.
think Rico's
No,
cuter
but
than
it's still,
Tyler.
that is still an
think Rico's
aspect
cuter?
that people
Than
would think
Tyler,
of.
don't you?
You think who's cuter?
Rico.
He has more hair.
Yeah.
I don't think Rico looks like a prick, and I think
Prick?
Tyler does.
I think you might be a little jealous.
That's what I was gonna say. Yeah.
Anyways.
Okay, yeah, he's jealous. Like the quiet.
It's okay,
He's
Steven.
jealous. Okay.
Anyways.
So, Danny goes up to Tyler and he's like, listen, you better not mess with this girl, which I thought was kind of cool because he really does view Joe as a sister.
I love what Tyler says. Oh, you're gonna give me that big bro talk? Or are you gonna tell me?
I know.
Showing me?
I'd be scared.
I believe you.
Yeah.
I know. He's like, listen, leave me alone. So Joe and Tyler go on their date, and it actually goes pretty well.
That's
It's a little awkward
It's a
at
little
first.
awkward.
It looked like a real date.
Well, okay, because it's weird that he brings up Danny. Because I don't know, I just
But the
didn't
whole
like that.
episode, his goal has been
Yeah.
Danny. So that's like from the beginning. I'm like, okay, well, he's going after Joe to get towards Danny.
I think he likes Joe, but
Once
I think he really does like Joe
Yeah.
too. I think it's just like.
But don't you
she's an
think that
added
she was
bonus.
kind of like used as a pawn in a way too?
well, yeah.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
It's like she was a means to an end. Like he still likes the means, but at the same time, he's trying to do his documentary. He's trying to get his name out there as a filmmaker. So he's not really going to worry about that
he
much.
does look douchey when he does that. You're
Well,
right.
He's doing a documentary. He knows a lot about the case, I'm sure. He knows a lot about Danny. He would know that Joe and Lacey saw the body. And
Yeah.
like, if you really cared about somebody, you would not make them see
I don't
a scene
think
like that.
anybody knew that though. I don't think that information was out to the
Yeah, I
public.
don't think that-
or
I don't-
anything. I think that's just between them three.
Was it?
Yeah,
Because I don't know why he would even though he's fascinated by this whole trial and the whole thing with Danny, I don't think he knew that.
Yeah, I don't think he knew that kind
I
of
think we're going to find out he knows a lot more than we think. That's what I think.
Well, I mean, if he's been spying on them, because
I don't
he
think that was
knows-
him at the end, though.
I think
You
that
know?
was him in the beginning, though.
Which,
Don't you think he was obviously
The
there
one who
filming
stepped out?
when Danny and Lacey were on their little date and everybody shows up.
oh, yeah, I'm
Yeah.
sure he was there. But at the end, like, in the window with the camera, I don't think that was Tyler.
No, maybe he has like helper people.
I don't think that was related to Tyler.
I like
know?
that. I help for people.
You know, I don't know
No,
what
I
to
know-
call
I
them,
know
but
you-
like his little peoples that
Minions?
he sends minions to go
That's gonna
do
get
his dirty work.
It's gonna get super complicated though if there's like a whole army of
Yeah.
people against him.
Well, obviously there is if
Yeah.
they're all gonna wear these masks.
Scary.
So
I mean, it could just be also douchey high schoolers.
There's a lot of those in this show.
Yeah.
I don't think they're
But,
from the
I mean,
high
that's
school though. I
interesting.
think they're like unknown people.
Yeah,
yeah,
they're-
I
because
guess we have
They
no
they would
way
have
of
known,
knowing.
like people at the party would have noticed if that big of a group of people like suddenly left the party and then this whole thing.
Well,
happened.
plus-
Yeah.
Don't
Okay.
you
Do you think these are people at the party who just put the masks on, or all these
No.
people showed up
I think they just showed
I think
up.
I think they showed up.
Yeah.
just for this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's
I-
break down the party.
I thought that they had just showed up, but until you said that, now I think that they were at the party.
You think so?
Because nobody could sneak in looking like that.
Well, and it's not like they were all dressed the same. They all just had like the same.
Yeah,
headpieces.
so I mean, it'd be so easy to just pull it out and put it on in the crowd of people without anyone noticing because they all came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And they all came out from different ends of the party. They couldn't have all came in at one time without anyone noticing.
It's true.
They would have all had to have been at the party, and people would notice, like people they don't know.
That's what I think too, since it was such a high school party with
Yeah.
just their school.
They have to be students then. And maybe they were told not to spread the word about Lacey and Danny because then it would basically out them.
Yeah. I don't know. It's interesting.
Yeah.
So at this party, Rico shows up, gets really drunk, which is hilarious. Joe and Tyler come, and Tyler brings his camera, and the deal is that if he threw Danny this party, then he can interview Danny at the party. So when he's interviewing Danny, he's like, so how do you feel about all these pranks? Plural.
He loves
And that's when it's like, oh, ding, ding, ding. Tyler's the one in charge.
I love how you try to recover. I mean, prank.
Yeah.
What did I say? Come on.
I just met one.
Yeah. That was such a setup.
So then while this is happening, Lacey is she with Phoebe? Yeah,
Yes.
Lacey's with Phoebe, and Phoebe's like, we need to go to this party. My brother told me something epic's gonna happen. And Lacey's kind of like, what? And I think that's when you realize, oh, she really does care about Danny, and even if it is gonna ruin her reputation, like she's still a good person, so she shows up to try to protect him.
Yeah.
And I think it's kind of interesting that Joe is so like whatever Danny and Lacey say until now they're trying to ruin the thing with this guy, and so she doesn't believe either of them. Because they both go to her, they're like, hey, Tyler's up to something.
You think she was in denial or just thinking that, Danny doesn't want me, but he doesn't want me to be with anybody else?
I think she was
That
mad at
kinda-
Danny.
Yeah,
kind of
Yeah.
I think she was too, but I think like she needs to take a step back because if two of these people who know the whole situation think something's going on, and she doesn't know that they're hooking up at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's like a reliable source.
Really quick, refresh my memory. Who was it that said we should tell Joe? Was it Danny who wanted to tell Joe?
No, they
About
told
them?
they told at different times. Like
No, I'm talking
he's-
about the relationship between Lacey and Danny.
Danny wanted to tell
Danny
Joe.
wants to tell
Yep,
Joe.
in the
Okay.
beginning.
That's
yeah,
right.
yeah.
Lacey's been against it from the beginning. Like, I don't really want to involve her in this.
Do you
then
think
she made
Lacey?
that-
Do you think Lacey knows? Sorry,
Knows what?
that
That
Joe
Joe,
has a
like-
thing for
I
Danny.
think
Oh,
it's
yeah.
a girl intuition. I
Yeah,
think she does.
she's got to know.
I think she does.
But it was funny that when she did say like, "Oh, we don't want to tell her. We don't want to make her the third wheel," which that would be
That's how
really
she would
awkward.
feel,
That'd
yeah.
be
Yeah.
exactly. And then she'd have her feelings hurt also since she likes him. And
Because it's much better to be the third wheel without knowing it and have your friends sneak
Yes.
off when you're there.
Honestly, I think I'd
think
rather
so.
do that.
no,
I'd
no,
rather
That's
not
why
know.
they need to work hard to get Joe with Rico. Then they can all just go on their 4 dates together.
Exactly.
What do you? Well,
Double date.
I guess we haven't crossed this bridge yet, but do you think Rico's gonna have a change of heart about telling? I mean, being a witness if he's called to the stand about the necklace, seeing Karen throw the necklace in the lake, because he seems like he's getting
I
close to
don't
Danny.
think that's going to be anything now. We'll get into this later too. But now that we see that Karen confessed,
I think Rico's going to
You
come
know.
forward to
You
help
think
Karen.
he is to help Karen?
Yeah.
I
'Cause-
could see that.
Yeah. Oh crap! I just lost my train of thought.
Well, we'll continue with the party. So the whole thing happens where Karen comes home and sees it too, which is kind of scary, but really quick, funny when she Rico, you're drinking,
Drinking
and she's
her
the only one he
wine.
calls out.
Out the
But-
bottle. He was drinking her good wine out the bottle.
And when you're a wino like Karen, that'll piss you off.
you notice how everybody drinks wine.
Yeah.
Even Joe's mom was sitting at home drinking wine.
Everybody
My
drinks
type of
wine, though.
girls.
I know. I'm about to get some after we wrap this up.
This is a kid show.
Some wine.
There's teen drinking, so we can drink. So anyways, this whole thing happens where it's like in a weird circle, and they put the masks on, and then they're like reenacting the strangling.
It looks so
Just,
dumb.
but it was just so mean.
They did a-
Which, listen, people, we know that she didn't really get strangled. We saw those things in the police
I don't
department.
want to- I just honestly I don't believe that report has anything to do with it. Honestly, I don't. I'm sorry.
Well,
I think it does.
well, you're wrong.
Okay, we'll see.
On a
okay.
scale of right to wrong,
Wrong.
wrong.
Ever wrong has to bring a red jump rope and wear it.
Oh, I thought you were gonna get. Okay, that's okay.
My train just derailed itself when I'm thinking of what I was thinking before. I don't think Rico ever has a chance with Joe in this series.
I think
I don't think it'll ever happen
Oh,
because
this season?
in this series, I don't think it'll ever happen because unless he changes, like really changes, because they were on the same path, and then Joe went this way and Rico just kept going straight.
No, but I don't think it'll happen while Lacey and Danny are together because I think that's almost too perfect if you're watching and there needs to be some sort of drama or tension. But I think if Lacey and Danny break up, and they're in high school, so their personalities are going to change, and they kind of, even the writers kind of have that leeway with high school characters. And I can see them. I don't think they will in this season, but I could see in seasons ahead
I feel
them
like
getting together.
I feel like Danny's gonna coach Rico and he's gonna become Mr. Swag.
Mr. Swag.
And no, I feel like that's
could
what's
see
happening.
that.
You see how he's talking. He's like, Rico, you know, be more like me. I do a little French inside. I don't know why. But I feel like Rico's gonna come out of his shell, and Joe's gonna see that and be attracted to that.
Huh. So anyways,
Optimus?
all this happens. Joe calls things off with Tyler, which
He
good
doesn't
for
know
her,
why.
obviously.
He's like,
I know.
why?
She's like, hello. And I kind of felt bad for her because she went on a good date and then she finds out like literally everybody's crazy.
Hey,
I'm so glad he didn't.
dates
lie.
can end worse than that, though. At least
That
they
was pretty bad.
at least they didn't say. So we're going Dutch, right?
Stephen's lie.
Did that happen?
I'm just glad that Tyler didn't try to lie and say that. I'm just really glad he just confessed
just
it,
came
which
out,
I
yeah.
give him credit for that.
I think maybe
He did try to
didn't-
lie.
Well, he was.
No, but he admitted to
yeah.
it.
Well, he
Yeah.
admitted to it,
But
but he
I
did
think
try to
maybe
lie.
he didn't realize that. I think his intention of asking Joe out was kind of to try to work this way through things. But I don't think he realized he was actually going to have feelings for her.
And enjoy the date and stuff.
Yeah.
We've had this guy for an episode and 15 minutes, and you guys think he has feelings for her.
Yeah.
It shows.
We've only had the show for 8 episodes.
Ooh,
So
no,
that is
he
at
doesn't
least-
have feelings
What
for
is the
Joe.
hatred towards Tyler.
I know.
He's a
What's
Tyler
going
hater.
on?
He doesn't have feelings for Joe.
Prove it.
He does. The way
Just
he,
watch the next 3
I think he
episodes.
does.
and
He
you're
was
gonna agree
really
with me.
remorseful at the end. Like when she was finna break up, he was like, "Please don't, please."
Yeah, well, nobody likes looking somebody in the face who feels like crap, and I mean, yeah, it's of course he's gonna be kind of like, oh yeah, but at the same time, I don't think it comes from
he
feelings
does.
for
I think
Joe.
he does.
Joe's a cute girl.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's gorgeous.
Yeah, he does.
Joe.
Oh.
All right.
Agree to disagree. So Lacey and Joe are out on these swings, and I thought that was such a weird moment because we
I
haven't
thought
seen
so
them on the.
too.
No, I
Yeah.
mean, but we haven't seen them on the swings since we've seen the clip of the whole murder happen, and so it was like this sweet moment where they're sharing all these things, but it's like this is also really eerie.
It's funny that they're on the swings now after the reenactment of the murder.
Yeah, that's what I was just thinking. Like
That's
it's like literally the
weird,
same
yeah.
thing that
Foreshadowing.
happened. Or post-shadowing. I don't know what that is.
Post-shadowing, Danny's going back to juvie for 5 years.
So they kind of talk, and they talk about boys, but in a weird way because Lacey can't be like, hey, I'm dating Danny. And Joe can't be like, hey, I really had a thing for Danny.
Yeah.
I
Which-
thought it was nice though because that was the first time that we've really seen Lacey be like, Joe, you're beautiful,
Yeah.
you're a great person, you're gonna find someone that's meant for you. Like that was actually a
Yeah.
really genuine moment, I think.
I think
I feel like she was thinking in her mind, but not Danny.
True.
I can foresee in the
True.
future, though, because like Joe was on the straight and narrow and Lacey was like the cool party girl. I can almost see them once Lacey gets with Danny more, like their roles
Switching.
reversing, and Joe becomes the popular party girl.
You think so? I'm not fixated on that. I don't.
No,
I could
I
kinda
don't
see
care.
Like a
about
Mean
Joe
Girls.
becoming-
I don't know.
No, I don't think
So, anyways, that all happens, and then while that's happening, Rico is telling Danny that he's just drunk on the couch, and Danny gets out of him that he really does have a thing for Joe.
Can I mention that sweater Rico had on? He looked so cute. And my heart just broke with that little sweater on. Oh, he did.
Poor little drunk
Did you
Rico.
see that sweater? It was like a Christmas sweater. Was it June? A Christmas sweater?
I don't know why I'm cracking up so much about.
was
Can I
so
mention that sweater?
When I saw it, I was
It's
like,
so
he's
Rico,
so
though.
cute.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Okay. I'm
Oh my
Rico's
I
just
had
kind
to
of a
look.
dork
It
like
was
that.
really
I know.
cute though.
And well, and Joe kind of views him like a little brother too, though, because she's like, "Let me get this little drunkie
Well,
home."
no. She put her hand on his knee.
Mm-hmm.
Now
Oh, I
that
did not
means
see
Yes,
that.
I totally
What
saw
mom-
that.
Things are getting pretty serious.
when they were
Oh.
talking, and she goes, "What were they talking about?" And she puts her hand on, it, and he looks at. He's like,
Mm-hmm.
he was like,
He's
yeah,
like,
that's
I got a tingling sensation.
down there.
That's what happens. It's natural.
Thank you.
It's okay. So then Lacey and Danny get it on again, and she's getting a little slutty. She sits down on the couch and
Stop.
unzips her dress. You saw that?
I went to the restroom at that point.
Oh no!
Did y'all,
At
y'all
the
play
end,
Oh, you were. I didn't know you had left.
she was there.
Oh.
When they're at the end of the party,
She sits
and-
on the couch.
Yeah, she sits on the couch, and Danny's like standing over her,
Ooh.
really sexual, and she like unzips her dress, and he's like, "Oh," and then they like start making out.
How did you miss that?
I don't know how I missed
was
that,
like
but
a
can
big
we
moment.
go see that after?
Yeah, we can. We'll rewatch it.
We
So
won.
these things end on a good note for them. Now we've got to talk about Karen.
Wait,
Yes.
hold on. With that part though, we forgot to mention that someone was recording it.
Oh yeah, good point.
Yeah, so they're
Somebody
making out.
and somebody's making a sex tape.
And someone, the masked man, comes by and starts recording it, but we don't know who yet.
And
Did
it's
you see
not on
that?
the same kind of camera.
I saw
that,
that. That was at the
Yeah, it
very
was just on an iPhone.
No, it was one of the, just a flip camera,
Oh, it was?
camcorder.
Oh,
So, but it wasn't the same camera that Tyler had.
No.
So I don't think.
I don't
it was
think
Tyler.
I don't think it was
Tyler.
Tyler
No,
either.
I don't think it was either.
I think it might be Archie's little guy. It's probably gonna be the guy that poisoned Tom Cruise.
Wasn't
Oh,
that,
I bet it will be.
Didn't y'all think it was Archie?
No, I don't think Archie did it. I don't think Archie knows. Because if Archie saw Danny and Lacey together, he'd be
He wouldn't
banging on
want
the
to film
door.
it. Yeah,
He'd be banging on the door, ready to kick his ass. He
Yeah.
wouldn't be.
I agree. It'll be interesting to see who it is, though. So there's this whole thing going on with Karen and Kyle. And Karen and Kyle meet for coffee, which is weird.
He's weird.
And he's
So
meeting with
weird.
her basically to try to get more information about the necklace.
He doesn't know how to lead into things.
No, he doesn't
No.
because
he's
he's like,
just like straight up. He's like, Oh, so how's the job going? Okay. By the way, I'm arresting you. Like he just really like pulls it out.
Well, and he like starts out really nice, like
Yeah.
he's super personable, and then he's like, "Tell me what you did."
He goes from black to white like that.
Like he
And her
needs to
face.
transition more, you know,
Yeah.
or like get her drunk first. Don't
Or-
take her to coffee if you want some.
Maybe
Hello?
hide the fact you're interrogating a little bit better. Like maybe ask questions that are
Yeah, because he
aside
should have
from
been
it
like,
that lead
Yeah,
into
he
it.
should have been like, I wanted to
Exactly.
talk to you because I was out walking that night and I saw something that I thought it was you. Like he could have done
I
it
just don't
so much
understand why
better.
he lied about the whole thing.
I'm just not realizing, does he ever not wear his uniform? He's working like 24/7. Like, who wears a uniform?
But I mean, his
It's
job
every
kind of is
scene.
his life. It's ruining
I
his
get
family.
it, but
It's, yeah.
he went to coffee, was like after work, and I'm like, seriously.
And what's his deal too? She shows up. Well, of course, Danny thinks she's just on a walk because she was so upset. She shows up and he's like, "You know it's really late." Yeah, I know it's really late. Come on, really? You're gonna
Yeah.
say that? You should be like, "Hey, Karen, sit down so you can tell me stuff." No, you know it's really
Yeah.
late.
Yeah.
Like really? He's
Yeah.
just such a terrible.
I mean, and I
cop.
thought it was good for her. She's like, you know what? Talk to me with my lawyer.
Mm-hmm.
But then she gets her lawyer, and he finds out she's been lying too, and she kind of walks herself into that one. When I don't know what I would do if I was her though, because she's already said she didn't do it, so I felt like she shouldn't have told the truth.
I don't think she's telling the truth though.
I think she's still covering for
I don't
something.
Oh,
think
at
she-
the end, I don't
Yeah.
think she's
No,
telling
yeah,
the truth.
she's not.
But I would have made up a
Oh.
story about throwing the
The
necklace
necklace.
away.
Oh, yeah.
I would have been like, somebody's been harassing my family.
It's
and
just
I
the
don't know.
lawyer.
He has this lie already made out, like it was.
I can lie on the spot.
Oh my god.
Talented.
Pretty good.
I just I hated this because, come on, lawyer, really? You need to go in there and tell the truth. Like what?
Yeah.
You should never have a defense attorney telling you to tell the truth to the police. I would fire that guy on the spot.
I mean, I don't know about law or anything. You seem to know about everything,
Yeah.
but I think
No,
once
like-
someone, I think the defense attorney still has to know the truth and get the
The
truth.
defense attorney should know the truth. Like you should definitely have your lawyer know the truth. So the prosecuting attorney can't pull out random things and
Yeah.
shove it in your face and then cut him off guard. But at the same time, your lawyer is there to protect you, and your lawyer is there to make sure that you don't say anything that can incriminate you. Telling the truth can seriously incriminate you, seriously incriminate your son. Let them do the work. Don't do their work for them.
Yeah, it did seem a little shady to me. But so I think after this whole party thing happened, and she just felt horrible for Danny to see him tortured like this. And I think that's why she went to Kyle and was like, you know what, I killed Regina. Because does anyone actually think she killed Regina?
No.
No way.
I don't think so either.
Okay, but I did see on one of the Twisted Theories things that if she did in fact kill Regina, that possibly it was because she knew that Regina and Danny's dad were having an affair and that she wanted Regina gone.
I like that.
Huh.
And she seemed defensive when Danny was questioning her
But
about
Yes,
it.
that would also
exactly.
explain why she was even more upset about the necklace.
Yes.
I think her defensiveness from Danny questioning was more because of her conversation with Tess.
What conversation?
The
was
conversation
About her
about
cheating and
about
stuff?
Tess cheating with
that? So she knows her husband is a cheater, though.
Yeah.
I know, but I don't think she was defensive because he was asking about Regina being with it. I think she was defensive because he was asking about cheating in
Yeah.
general. So I really don't think she had anything to do with Regina. I think it's pulling it loose ends that aren't connected to anything when you try to say that Karen actually killed Regina.
I honestly don't like the whole twist with her coming out saying that she killed
Yeah.
Regina.
No.
It
I
throws
don't
me
either.
off.
Yeah.
But I
That's a
do
lot.
kind of think that it's very in character for her because she'll do whatever it takes to protect her family. And Danny's kind of the same way. I mean, she let the principal brush her hair, remember?
What happened to this principal?
I know.
left
One
me.
episode.
She
of
got what she
creepiness.
needed. Her son is back in school, so she's
don't
got to
need the
move on to
That
principal
was
somebody else.
so weird.
But I don't think she's smart enough to think through the repercussions that will happen if she says, like, do you think she gets, like, you're going to go to jail if you really killed this bitch? I don't know.
Well, I guess Tara was described as always angry and kind of a bitch. So
Yeah.
But what was
Makes
her
sense.
reason to kill? No,
No, Regina.
Regina.
Oh,
Yeah.
Regina.
Okay,
Okay,
you said
so
because-
say she. Okay, well, obviously she confessed to it, but if she really didn't do it, they're not going to find any evidence linking Karen to the body.
Exactly.
Yeah, I don't think
So
even.
it's
I don't know,
not
it's
really going
weird.
to go anywhere.
Well, maybe she's confessed. Here's a random theory. I really don't think that Karen killed her at all, but I will say this. If Karen killed Regina, and right now the only piece of evidence they have is the necklace, and Karen confesses and it goes to trial and they find her not guilty, and then they find more evidence, it's double jeopardy. They can't prosecute her again for Regina's death.
Do you think Karen's that smart?
No.
Okay.
That's why I don't think the theory works. But
yeah.
I'm saying if you're really gonna go with this theory, that's a reason why
valid.
she would go. Why would she go this route while they have only this evidence?
True.
But at the same time, I don't think she would have thrown the necklace in the water. Because if she was smarter, she would have planted it differently if she really did kill Regina.
And I think Kyle knows that she didn't kill Regina.
Yeah, he doesn't believe her.
Why would she plant the necklace on Danny or in his locker?
Yeah.
It just
doesn't make any
sense.
sense. And plus, go back to the whole money being sent to Regina. Like, why would Karen be sending money to Regina? Like, if that has anything to do with each other.
Yeah.
Well, she doesn't know anything about that. Though.
Exact. Well, I know, but if they're.
But I mean, if she was the killer, she might.
Yeah. Whoever the killer is probably was the one sending the money.
No, I agree.
Gucci, like buying stuff is what I meant. Like, never mind. It was
having a side conversation.
Anyway, yeah.
Anyways, let's get into some news and gossip.
Wait.
Oh, here we go.
No, I'm doing this because this is what we're going to talk about, but we didn't mention it. I want to go over the stuff, the YouTube commenter.
Oh, I thought we were going to do that in predictions.
Oh no, I'm talking about like the Joe and Danny relation.
Oh, okay.
Like, because I want to have this debate because we have time and the fans have been like asking us for the whole week.
We've had like 3 or 4 people say that they think that Joe and Danny are actually siblings.
That's like 10.
Really?
A lot of people.
That's a good theory.
A lot of people have been asking
I
us what we
actually kind
think.
of feel like it's valid besides the fact that they don't look anything alike.
Okay, and I kind of did a little research on this, not really, but in my own head.
Okay, that counts.
Okay, so say they were brother and sister. Tess would have had to have given birth to Danny and to Joe.
No, they could have the same dad.
So you're saying Danny's dad would be both their dads?
Yeah, because we already know Danny. Remember, we know that Joe's mom
Karen would have had
Danny
Danny and Tess would have
had a thing back in high school.
Gotcha.
If someone else is pregnant with someone, you can't really fake that.
You can like one guy can get 2 different girls pregnant.
I know that.
Look, if Danny came out of Tess, I think they would have known.
No, nobody wants to hear this.
But what I'm saying is, my whole point behind this is, I don't think it's valid because I don't think they're going to go that route. I think if they're going to go the relationship like somebody's related to someone, it would be Lacey and Danny, and that would be more.
That'd be sick.
Well, that would be more twisted, honestly. Like that would be more of a shock.
We got to remember this is ABC Family.
Hold on, this is
No,
what I remember.
let me-
Why I thought Tess did it.
Okay.
Because Joe doesn't look anything like Danny at all.
Yeah, but Karen doesn't look anything like Danny
Yeah,
at
but
all.
his
Well, do we know
dad,
what-
he looks like his dad.
Yeah, so I that was my also point. And ABC Family are very particular with their castings. They really cast people who look the roles, so they would not have cast Joe to look like how she does if they were going to do this. They would have had someone not as much completely Caucasian. They would have had someone a little bit more ambiguous that you would have been like, you wouldn't have thought of it, but then you would have been like, oh, okay, I can kind of see that.
Exactly.
You know what, though? I could see them just from other ABC Family shows because they kind of like to throw you and make you not trust anybody or like question everything in a lot of their shows. And so I could see this maybe like not panning out to be true, but I could definitely see it playing a line in a story in the future.
Joe, you're Danny's second cousin's best friend's brother.
Because
Spoiler alert.
to argue that fact, the only time we've seen Joe and Danny do anything is in a dream sequence.
Yep.
So it's not
It's
like it
still
actually,
twisted,
you know, I don't
yes.
think, I think if they knew as writers, I don't think it would be Lacey at all because I don't think, since it still is a kid's show, I think that'd be really screwed up.
Rico looks like Danny. Don't they have like this kind of Caribbean?
Now we're gonna think everyone's related.
I'm gonna say that the way they're leading these straws with the relationship between Joe and Danny, we might find out that they're related in a different way than brother and sister, probably some sort of different way, and I think Tara is going to be involved in that. And I don't know how, but I really think that Tara is connected to a lot of these things because I don't think Tara was going to destroy only Danny's family. I think it had a lot to do with Joe and a lot to do with Lacey, and that's why he can't tell them. Because if it just affected him, then he could probably tell them a little bit, but because it would affect them, Tara's got to be connected to them in more than just the Regina and more than just the Vikram.
I don't know. It's all so complicated, but we'll find out. Can we do news and gossip now?
No. Yeah.
AfterBuzz TV News.
So Twisted has been renewed for 10 more episodes, and they're gonna air in
In January.
January of 2014. So all the stuff we've been talking about could potentially happen.
Yay.
So
I'm excited.
exciting.
I know.
Yay.
Well, it's been getting really good ratings this whole time, and it's
It's
ranking.
getting better and better, too.
Yeah. It's ranking like just under Pretty Little Liars
And
and the ABC
Fosters,
Family
all the
lineup.
ABC
Yeah,
lineup.
their whole new lineup is doing really well.
Which is crazy because Pretty Little Liars is like apparently really crazy and good this season.
Oh, it's
it's so
good.
crazy.
Big-
Last night's episode. woo.
Speaking of Pretty Little Liars, isn't Lucy Howe dating our favorite character on Twisted?
I don't know.
Tyler's
I don't
character?
think
They are.
I-
They are. Do believe I know.
Twitter, let us know.
Yeah, let's look this
I
up.
do. I know for a fact they are.
Because when, how long have they
They've
been
been
dating?
together for a while.
No, because her boyfriend broke up with her and then tweeted about it. Like over this past year.
They didn't break
They
up.
were- well, whoever she was dating.
Okay.
In
So
other
if they're dating,
relationship
it's
news-
recent.
In other
Oh, yeah,
relationship news, you said you told us, but we didn't remember. But then I saw one of the tweets was about it. Rico is dating the actor that plays Rico is dating the actress that plays Lacey in real life.
Lacey or
Wait,
Joe?
I thought it was
Lacey.
Joe.
No,
Lacey.
he's dating
Rico's
Kylie
dating
Butler.
Rico's
Lacey.
dating Lacey in
So
real life.
you know what's kind of funny now?
That's weird.
Oh, that is weird.
You want to know what's a
You
little
said
bit
it
funny?
was Joe.
I thought it was Joe.
It was
Oh.
Lacey.
What?
Guys,
So
Guys, you know what's kind of funny though in this? In that it probably helps Rico in his acting a little bit because Danny's making out with his real girlfriend
That's what I
while
kept
the girl he's supposed to go out with is after Danny, so he can kind of hold that jealousy against Danny.
Ooh.
that's what
Very
I kept saying. I was
interesting.
like, ooh, I wonder how Rico feels. Y'all didn't say anything.
Well, I thought it was Joe that he was dating in real life. I was like, oh,
Oh,
they
you
could
didn't think
make
it could be Lacey? You didn't think it could be
Oh,
Lacey?
is that how you're gonna be?
No.
No, I thought you
'Cause
said it was
you
Joe.
you brought it up while they were on camera together.
Yeah, when they were having the milkshake, you
Guys,
said this.
We're gonna get into some predictions because
You
these
just totally
people are
left me
going
hanging.
crazy.
I would like that. And you
Let's
were
just
like,
predict.
All right,
Well-
it's our turn.
Heather and I are gonna predict while you two tickle each other. Heather, you go first.
What we were doing? Okay. I'm gonna predict that. Let's see. I'll do something about Tyler.
Perfect.
Heather and Tyler are gonna get together.
That would be my prediction. Thank you. No, I'm just kidding. Totally kidding, everyone. I'm gonna predict that it's gonna kind of stop. It's gonna come out in the next couple episodes, like who might be in his little army of masked men.
Do you have anybody that you think in particular?
I'm gonna say Scott is part of it.
Do you think any of Lacey's friends are in on it?
Ooh, Sarita.
That's what I think. Sarita might be in on
That
it.
Jen girl,
Yes.
the one who just appears with Scott. Now she's like
Yes.
part of the crew.
Oh, yeah.
What is she doing?
Yeah, we don't even.
I don't even know who she
She's
is.
just kind of random.
Interesting. I don't think Joe and Rico are gonna get together, unfortunately.
Oh come on! I
I
think
think
Yeah.
he's gonna try and fail, or he's gonna like say it to her when he's drunk or something.
no, they're gonna do that storyline.
He's been drinking this whole episode. That's a valid prediction.
They're gonna do that. They're probably gonna do that storyline where Rico ends up with like Joe gets her heart broken and she realizes that Rico was the one the whole time, but Rico's gonna be dating someone else. So they're
A
gonna do
boy.
that. No, but they're gonna do that like that flip on us, just so we see like Rico dealing with
Yeah.
oh should I stay with this person or go to Joe like that kind of thing. I think we're gonna see some of that. Who do you think killed Regina?
Sarita.
I honestly have no idea at this point.
They keep
Because
throwing
every
characters and then
episode, I
disappearing.
think it's somebody else. Now I just have no clue.
Here's a mayor guy. Let's never show him again. Here's an angry guy with a hunting jacket. Let's never show him again.
I just got the stroke of genius. The new police officer. He killed the old one, and now he's the one who was taping them at the end. Oh my gosh!
I have a prediction too about that
seems
tape.
valid.
Yeah.
Where did he come from?
Okay, wait.
I
Talk
think-
about the tape.
I think that the tape is definitely going to get out and around school like all these other photos have. And that is how Joe is going to find out about Lacey and Danny.
Oh,
we see
that's
that she
good.
finds
That's
out
good.
about
That's
it.
good.
That's
It's like
actually,
Gossip
yeah.
Girl style.
That's
yes,
creepy.
exactly.
Well-
Let's see.
Oh, you got some more?
They got some more.
What?
I don't know. I was thinking of that movie. Yeah, I think that's actually really good. I can agree with that.
Okay, perfect.
I'm not going to fight you on it, except for
We
the
want
fact
to
that
hear what
Tyler
you
is
guys
not
predict
effective.
too. We love all the things that you've been saying on YouTube and Twitter. So you can tweet at us. Where can they find you guys?
You can find me on Twitter and on Instagram at Heather Joy Smith.
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at just Lina Green.
You can find me at Stephen Lemieux, StephenLemieux, and I think Archie's going to be back next episode to try to maybe make Lacey a little jealous with somebody.
Huh. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Jason Ikeler, and we will see you guys all back in here next week.
Yay!
See?
From Bing.com, executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later, Twisted!
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.